With only 2 weeks left of the home and away season, Hawthorn has moved inside the top four, and after another big win against the Cats on the weekend, we're here to ask the burning question: can the Hawks win the flag? I'm Nat Edwards, and today I'm joined by Mitch Cleary and Nick Bowen. And Mitch, we'll start with you. Can the Hawks go all the way?
Well, Nat, what a timely decision to do this show. 4 wins on the trot. Every club is getting injured, but the Hawks just seem to be getting healthy. We'll put these names up just now. They're going to get 3 stars back into this side. Ben McAvoy, Grant Birchall and James Sicily ready for the finals. Every other side is falling over at the final hurdle, and when clubs ask for an upward trend heading into September, this is the club that is going to deliver it. They've got the best fitness department in the competition in Andrew Russell. It's all looking swimmingly for the Hawks at the moment. It
does look like they're starting to build some momentum. Nick, what do you think?
Mitch, if you'd watched the burning question 2 weeks ago, you would know that Richmond cannot lose this. You talk about injuries. The Tigers don't have injuries, and they're the best team. The Hawks cannot beat Richmond.
There's only a handful of points back in round 3 between these two sides.
They kicked 5 of the last 6 goals to restore some sort of save face.
Fitness.
It was... No. They weren't up to it. The Tigers took the foot off the gas. Now, beyond the Tigers are the ones, they will win. Even then, the Giants have the Hawks well and truly covered. Class-wise, it's not even an issue. And the Eagles, I know that they're absolutely labouring under injury at the moment, but the Hawks will, in all likelihood, have to play them in Perth in a final, and they won't beat them there.
Well, the Hawks finished 4th on the ladder this year. They're going to play the Tigers in the first game, the qualifying final. And
L?
No, they've got Clarko, which we'll get to shortly. Clarko v Dimmer, that's a mouth-watering prospect for the Hawks fans.
Nick makes a very good point there, Mitch, but let's look at the list of Hawthorn. How does it stack up to the sides like Richmond, the Giants and the West Coast Eagles?
Well, this depth is astonishing right now at the Hawthorn Footy Club. They're getting all the players on the park, and when they bring back Sicily, Roughhead, even back last week, look at the top 6 names here. We've picked 16 locks in this team. These are the 6 of the 10 names that are going to have to make up the rest of the team.
Doesn't come to mind, mate, when you look at those names.
Impey, Henderson, Howe, Segler. They're far and away better than Butler, Castagna, Broad, McIntosh, Graham.
Wash your mouth out. These are proven premiership players, my friend.
Give it a few weeks and these Hawks will be just in the conversation.
I know what's astonishing, mate, and it's not that list.
We'll have a look at these types of players. They've got the midfield, Mitchell and O'Meara. That speaks for itself, but they've thrown in the likes of Harry Morrison, James Worpel, 2 rising star contenders in the last few weeks. Look at that. That's Joel.
It's got the Tigers shaking in their boots, mate.
That's against Joel Selwood. Hands off to Jack Gunston, who is just priming himself to be one of the key forwards of September.
All right, Nick, talk me through the issues that you have with the list credentials.
Well, I think the biggest issue I have with the Hawks, Nat, is that they don't have a key forward, I think, who can stand up in the finals. You need a bailout option in the finals. You just, the things get tight, the pressure comes up.
What about Jared Roughhead?
Well, I just don't think he's what he used to be, Nat. He's still serviceable, but you look at the options that the other teams have. Tigers have got Rewalt, GWS Cameron, West Coast Kennedy Darling, Tomahawk at the Cats, and obviously Buddy at the Swans. They don't have that. Jack Gunston's a great player, as Mitch alluded to, but you can't just put the ball in his head. He's not a contested mark like that. So you look at the numbers here. In their premiership years, they were certainly better contested marks, better at taking the marks inside 50. That's where they really dominated. They're not the same team like that anymore, and I just don't think they're in that premiership class.
It's a fair point, Mitch. You've got one last chance to make an argument to convince us that the Hawks can win a flag.
Well, Nick spoke about bailout options. Jack Rewalt was far from a bailout option. He played that grand final inside 50. If you throw James Sicily and Grant Birchall behind the footy, Jack Gunston is going to be unleashed up forward. Throw him in with John Segler, who's going to be able to take pack marks. 5 contested marks
Segler.
On the weekend. John Segler, 5 contested marks. Yes. When was the last time Jack Rewalt did that?
I reckon it was about 4 rounds ago.
Nah.
It was. He did. He took a career high.
Oh, well, that's probably against one of the low. I was probably against one of the
low. Come on, no.
This is not September.
Don't ask a question you don't know the answer to, Mitch.
But throw in Alistair Clarkson. He's got 4 premierships to his name. This club has 39 premierships still on its list. You don't think Clarko's been smarting from round 3 when he saw Richmond? He knew what he was doing, kicking 5 of the last 6 goals.
Mate, he can smart all he likes. He doesn't have the cattle. He doesn't have the cattle to beat the Tigers.
The depth we just put up?
Astonishing depth. Yep, I saw it. I was astonished, but not by the names on the list.
Clarko has this side ready to go and primed. He knows Damien Hardwick inside out. Qualifying final at the MCG. Hawks record at the G.
They'll lose.
It's not 19 in a row.
What about the Tigers record at the G, mate? They've got a record run going.
The Hawks stacks up this year as well.
All right, Nick, what's your last point?
My last point in that is I think that grand finals, premierships are won through the midfield, and I just don't think the Hawks have the depth there for all the astonishing players that Mitch has revealed today. If you look at these lists up here against some of the other main contenders,
I'm just saying premierships there. Apart from Tom Mitchell and Jager
you're seeing premierships where? In the Tigers list?
Burgoyne, Smith,
the Tigers
Shields.
List. You've got Martin.
You underrate
Martin
Liam
and
Shields.
No. Look at the depth in the other teams, mate. Look, Martin, Cochin are absolute superstars. Presti's very handy. Edwards, I reckon, I'd have him probably ahead of Presti, and Lambert is a star on the rise. The weak links
He'll
through.
be injured.
Look at the Hawks, mate. Burgoyne is a star, but how often does he play in the midfield? He's not always going through there. Liam
Impact.
Shields is a tagger. Jager O'Meara still to really, I reckon, live up to his potential at Hawthorn. You look at the Giants, mate. Everything, they're stars right down to Hopper, and Hopper's really emerging. They've got Taranto who can go through there as well. The Magpies much stronger, and the Swans likewise. So I just don't see the midfield depth there to get the job done for the Hawks. As good as Clarko is, he doesn't have the cattle.
All right, you both make very compelling arguments. Thank you both for joining us, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time for another Burning Question.